Timothy in Virginia, you're on the air, my brother. Go ahead.
Hey, Alex. Just want to know, do you think it's possible for people to be able to still follow sports and then also know what's going on in the world around them, know about Bilderberg?
Absolutely, absolutely. Look, if you're already informed and involved and doing something for liberty and you want R&R, everybody needs R&R. All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. That's why I've always boycotted it for years, and I've been boycotting it because all the anti-gun stuff, but I'm going to go to a Super Bowl party tonight. That way I can report on it properly tomorrow and see if there's another fake power outage or whatever, you know, like they had last year. But it's just that you're conscious that there's messages of manipulation. I'm talking about the general public that if you tell them they're being propagandized, they laugh at you.
Oh, yeah. No, I got friends, they're not, like people say, awake about what's going on around them. They're just drinking their fluoride sodas and eating their GMO food and watching sports and not knowing even really what's going on with the sports they're watching. And at the same time, I'm looking at them like they're crazy. They look at me like I'm the one that's got two heads. I mean, it's this crazy world we live in.
Who do you think is going to win, the Broncos or the Seahawks?
Well, the corporate interests are going to be the ones that actually win. The owners, I mean, and that's really what it is. I mean, that
was the trick question. Absolutely, I know the winner, and it's really the corporate bosses. That's right, the tax exempt
police state. That's who's going to win. I mean, really, that's all it really comes down to is it's not the teams that win. The cities lose, and that's one thing that's bothered me.
And they win every time. I mean, it's like if all the cities said no to Formula One, they would still build the track. They would pay for it, and instead of making, you know, over the next decade, $2 billion off the local track, they'd only make $1 billion.
Yeah, they're raping cities, and they're raising taxes, like you mentioned, Jerry Jones and their stadium down there in Dallas, and what they moved it to the next city, they moved it from Arlington over there, wherever they are now, and that's happened all the time. Trying to bring talk about sports, trying to bring a football stadium to L.A. and taxes are sky high in California. I mean, people are leaving California. They're trying to bring more football stadiums out there. I mean, look what they. Speaking about stadiums, you have Minnesota. They're trying to build a stadium there. They're taking money straight from those people's pockets to build another stadium. What's wrong with the stadium they already had? I mean, I don't understand.
No, it's all a boondoggle. It's all a scam, and they've set the precedent to get away with it over and over again. But I've seen the statistics. Not one of these stadiums was in the last 30 years was ever paid for by the owners. And it's just all a big disgusting mafia who now we're going to have anti-gun messages and pro-Obamacare. I mean, I'm done with it. I'm sick of it. Great points. Good to hear from you. We're going to go to break and go to Michael, Andrew, Scott, Corey, Brad, Hunter, Julio, Jeff, Ron, Jerry, and others. Your calls are coming up. And just have your point ready. I'm going to go to the next person. But yeah, no. New listeners tune in every minute. I should come in at the start of the next segment for all the new listeners that are coming in and say, I know the winner. I already know. It's already been decided between the Broncos and the Seahawks. I'll tell you at the bottom of the hour. And then at the bottom of the hour, I go, yeah, it's the owners that got the security paid for and are tax exempt, got the stadiums paid for. That's the winner.
Now you can watch the InfoWars Nightly News streaming live as it happens for free.
Check it out at Infowars.com/show.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live and broadcasting worldwide. Let's do it right now before I read a Vince Lombardi statement coming up at the bottom of the hour. By the way, if you just joined us, I will tell you who the winner, unequivocally, 100%, or may I be thrown into a lake of boiling oil. At the bottom of the hour, 33 after the news, I will tell you who is going to win Super Bowl 48 versus the Old Mules and the Sea Vultures. I will tell you who's going to win Seahawks versus Lord Manning. I will break it all down coming up at the bottom of the hour. But right now, the propaganda vehicle of sports, is it ruining sports? Do bears crap in the woods? Does the Easter Bunny lay eggs? The point is, We are going to take your phone calls right now. Michael in Arizona, you're on the air. Welcome.
Hello, Alex.
Hey, buddy.
Good afternoon.
Yes,
Hello.
sir.
Hey, I spoke with you on the 20th of January with regards to the one-year anniversary of the passing of my daughter, and I want to thank yourself, your staff members, and all the other listeners.
That was a very, very touching call. What's on your mind today, sir?
I just wanted to let you know that I received thousands, if not millions, of prayers, and they helped me a lot. But I will go to the NFL and that sort of thing. I really don't care about the game. I don't know if I'm going to watch it or not, but I did see something today. I did watch some of the pregame show, primarily because of, I was wanting to look for propaganda, and I think the guy's name is Jim Kelly, is the owner of the Seahawks, who is in cohorts with Bill Gates. And they're doing this big promotion about how he's donated over $1 billion.
What he's done is Bill Gates has increased his wealth, by the way. He gets to be tax exempt and only give part of the profit to political action to push his agenda, like Obamacare and gun control. So, he gave $1 billion of $100 billion over the years to make $40 billion tax exempt. How nice of Bill Gates, like the NFL. He's tax exempt to give it to Handgun Control Incorporated. Oh, thank you, Seattle Rathawks. See, that's exactly why it's so disgusting. Yes, I was aware of that. Isn't that unbelievable? God bless you. I appreciate your call. Andrew in Pennsylvania. I don't think we're going to see Bill Gates get rid of his armed guards, but you should turn your guns in because Bill Gates cares about you.
No, he doesn't. Happy Groundhog Day, Alex. First of all, I want to point out I'm scheduled to have Fix-It and author Brian Toey on my Blog Talk radio show, Nature of Reality Radio.
Very interesting, sir. What's your point? Because we just can't do the whole blog fest here. We're already doing it here. I got to let you go. Appreciate the call. I just got to go to calls. I just got to get to the info on the NFL, folks. I'm not against anybody, but I just got to take your phone calls. You want me to take your calls? Here's the toll-free number to do it, folks. It's 877-789-2539. And I want to hear about the NFL and the Super Bowl and propaganda without a minute-long thing at the front of it. I don't screen your calls, but that doesn't mean I'm here to be crapped all over, okay? Let's talk to Scott in Texas. You're on the air. Go ahead, Scott.
Hi, you got me 5x5?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Just an interesting perspective on the Super Bowl and the ticket prices. I wonder how many people have home mortgages that are spending $4,000+ to go to these games. They need to have their head examined if they're spending that kind of money.
Well, exactly. They think that's the experience. They go, it's the best time of my life. Not having a child, not inventing something, not doing the right thing. No, it's going and watching a bunch of steroid heads on narcissistic power trips being worshipped with a bunch of tax-exempt gangsters ripping everybody off. Go ahead.
It's also interesting, too, that I think I read an article that I think that it's like a record-breaking year that's like, $4 million for 30 seconds, not including your production time, not including your actors, not including any of that stuff. Just the time alone is some insane amount. And I've noticed that the games are getting progressively tighter. And I'm not a big football fan, but I do hear these things. And it seems like, that there's no more blowouts anymore. I remember some of the older Super Bowls when I was a kid. You and I are the same age. And they were it was like 47-2, and people just tune out. And so it's interesting to me that it seems that the game's getting progressively tighter and tighter and tighter to hold on, to hold the audience through all the
just
sports.
Like the blackout got them 3 more minutes of time. No, sir. Look at all the corruption. Like I told you, the NSA was spying on you. I told you how they were spying on you with Trojan horse software on everything. Now it's all come out just like I told you. The truth is it was already public. It's public and known that the NFL, the NBA, and Major League Baseball is almost completely rigged during key areas. It may be an inning. It may just be the third quarter. It may be just a particular kickoff. But when the bets are in for the gangsters that own the NFL and the other franchises, it's totally staged. And they've done computer breakdowns. I've had experts on to break it down. It doesn't mean every player is in on it. It's only a few. And it's the owners and other people, and it's totally rigged. And the FBI has come out and admitted that themselves. We sell a book, the fix is in at InfoWarsStore.com, that details this. So not only are you you know, watching a big tax-exempt fraud with propaganda. You're watching a rigged event.
Also, one other thing, a fun game. I would do it. I don't have the coin to do it, but it'd be an interesting game to have someone, a man on the street that has some tickets for people looking for free tickets, or and say, name three Supreme Court justices, and you can have the free tickets. Or what's the 17th Amendment? What does it do?
Ooh, I should have thought of that, to have an extra ticket to get a crowd out there and say, what is the Fourth Amendment in its entirety? Or absolutely, great points, great call. Thank you, Scott. Corey in Connecticut, go ahead.
Hey, what's going on, Alex?
Worldwide broadcast on Super Bowl 48.
I know, yeah, I'm not even watching it, not even paying attention to it right now.
That is a thought crime. You're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to give over your soul, your identity to the NFL. What's your point, criminal?
My point is that not to distract you from the Super Bowl at all, but I'm currently on the Florida House of Representatives website and the Connecticut Freedom of Information Act website, the Office of Accountability. You're talking about gun control again, and one of the big things, obviously, the NFL is doing to basically sway opinion to the public opinion. I have a very big question for you, and I know it's
I think we should turn our guns in. The NFL said so. Go ahead.
Oh, I know we should. And what's really funny about that is the fact that none, and I'm going to repeat again, none of any of the Freedom of Information Act requests nationwide have been either conceived, grabbed, or responded to via the Connecticut Freedom of Information Act Office of Accountability.
Sure, to try to find out what happened to Sandy Hook, because that was clearly as funny as a $3 bill, a giant PR stunt to get our guns. I hear you, and I appreciate your call, bro. But we're taking calls on the NFL, professional sports, and piggybacking and propaganda onto it. So thank you, Corey. We're going to go. Symbols are powerful, and the globalists have hijacked the symbols of America. They've turned them into their own symbols. Well, we are restoring the idea of the true republic, not the counterfeit globalist empire, by promoting the icon George Washington and others. That's why we're rolling out an 100% made in America line of incredible pro-liberty apparel. We are repopularizing liberty. We are helping fellow Americans rediscover what made this country great. We are the spirit of 1776. We are 1776 worldwide. We are all brothers and sisters in arms in the animating contest of liberty in the long march towards humanity's ultimate destiny of freedom. Visit madein1776.com today and vote with your dollars to promote truly made in America, high-quality products, and promote the ideals of liberty. Folks, I'm here in the heart of Texas. But I heard this host over and over again debating another host going, well, I don't care if they spy on me illegally. I'm doing nothing wrong. They're doing it illegally. People in government historically, if they get all your data, will use it against you for nefarious aims, dummy. Just like if you have a Facebook and you post your address and where you live, and the fact that your husband just gave you all this new jewelry and that you're going out of town tomorrow, they're going to come rob your house, dumbass. And I'm sorry to have to, you have your privacy and you lock your doors and pull your shades because a perv might sit there with their binoculars watching you in bed with your wife. You pull the blinds, dummy. I mean, why didn't the Pentagon just open its doors up, let everybody in to see everything? Well, you know that's stupid. Well, bad guys might get the info. Same shoe on the other foot, dummy. Man, I'm sick of it. But really what that is groveling to the system. That if you just play like you're part of it, they'll be nice to me. No, that's the road to ruin. That's the road to slavery. It's Super Bowl 48 coming up to start of the next segment. I can definitively tell you 100%. This is not my opinion. I already know the winner of Super Bowl 48 between the Broncos. It's not a game. It's not a joke. On April Fool's. I know the winner between the Broncos and the Sea Rats because Bill Gates is there. I know the winner coming up at the start of the next segment. Right now, let's go to Brad in Pennsylvania. Brad, you're on the air, my little extremist. Go ahead.
How you doing, Alex?
Oh, man, I'm good talking to you, buddy.
Hey, I think the big story we got to be careful of is the police state and what's if anything happens. And they're there darn sure could be something happening there. If you like in the recent Sports Illustrated, they're talking about all the New Jersey State Police, all the different government agencies. It's just a plethora of
you mean they're mixing anti-terror with sports, like the cops and the feds are there actually battling Al-Qaeda while they're better than Peyton Manning. They're better than the Seahawks. They're better than, all these groups. They're better than George Washington. Sports Illustrated, Super Bowl 48. Terrorists don't even think about it. Exactly. It's being used to sell the idea. Just like they sell the idea that gun violence is at record highs, when it's at record lows, it's there to sell propaganda. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, thank you for adding that. And but I'm afraid something will happen. And if it does, you got to believe, you got to know that it's they engineered it, just like 9/11. Because there's just too much police involvement, all these different government agencies. Anything happens, you know where to look. Look at them.
I agree, but I don't think they'll attack the Super Bowl this time or next, because if there's ever like a strike or it's not making money, then they'll blow it up. But the fact that it's their big propaganda deal and they like to meet all their high-end hookers at the meeting and land in their jet copters, and they love having the public pay for the racket, even though they can print money out of thin air, they love having all the poor slobs pay for it. I mean, it's just a huge joke to them. And so I don't know if they're going to attack it, but they will sell freedom as a proctology exam and a gunship, because the terror threat is omnipresent. Great points, Brad. Thanks for calling. Hunter in Texas, or should I say Jaeger in Tejas. You're on the air. I mixed German and Spanish there, sorry. Or actually Indian, Tejas. Go ahead.
Thank you, sir. So-called professional sports here are only bred in circuses to distract from their already dumbed down fluoridated zombies. So, my request to you, sir, is that let's all instead play the real sport of legally resisting the controlled criminals in charge politically.
I agree with you. Absolutely. That's why they want you playing simulated video games, virtual reality, sports, so you're not in the real world, so you just do what you're told. That's what's going on. I was in a restaurant 2 years ago after the Super Bowl. It's 2 years ago today. I was in there with Wes and the rest of the crew, and we went in and they set us down, and Carl Rove was right beside me, right behind me, catty corner, and we got drinks and stuff, and food was coming, and I was going to confront him at the end of dinner, but I wanted to enjoy my meal, and he was making fun of people watching sports while the real world went on. And then I ended up getting up and leaving because I didn't want to stay there with him, but go ahead.
Yeah, well, along those lines, I am now suing those people for what you actually called me personally to call into your show a while back. My suit is now in the mediation stage of the
I remember you got banned from the county commissioners. You go by Ronnie Reeferseed, and that's why you called in with a fake name today, Hunter. That's fine. You haven't called in months. I just don't like to call every time, see, because it's about the NFL. This is about county commissioners banning you from speech that I think's wrong. I appreciate your call. You got every other caller just is going to bring up another subject. You guys, I let you talk about whatever you want 9 times out of 10. We're not going to talk about whatever you want today. We're going to talk about Super Bowl 48. Julio in Illinois, you're on the air, Julio.
Happy Super Bowl Sunday, Alex.
I'm feeling really manly looking at Manning right now.
The propaganda corporate holiday that has been created over the last several decades, the bread and circus that travels from city to city every year. It's really disgusting. I was watching a commercial not too long ago during the Super Bowl coverage where they were trying to talk about the soldiers fighting for our freedom, and they showed the Constitution in Independence Hall. And in my mind, I was just thinking, man, why don't we talk about the soldiers that are getting destroyed with depleted uranium and so forth?
Sure, they only invoke the Constitution and soldiers to sell the wars. And that's what I'm saying. Everything about the NFL especially is pure brainwashing propaganda, and people should be aware of that.
When I think about these owners and these stadiums, I'm from Chicago, so we have Soldier Field, and so Chicago's a huge sports town historically. These stadiums, I think these owners it's almost a front for the continuity of government agenda, and these mega stadiums being stored. You know, I remember Alex at Cancun climate change document talking about transporting people to the big soccer stadiums in Mexico. So imagine if they talk about that in Mexico with their huge stadiums. They have Stadium Azteca, over 100,000 people in Mexico City. Just imagine what they could do in New Jersey or in Chicago or in Minnesota.
Oh, yeah, the more poor, the more degraded, the more degenerate, the bigger sports are. That's a historical fact. And sports is bigger than ever as America sinks into the slime, Julio, because people just can't get obsessed with standing up for themselves. They've got...
Hello, this is Hank Hill, and I'm telling you what, you need to listen to Alex Jones.
Yeah. Infowars.com.
Judge, what is the secret of the universe?
Infowars.com.
But I'm opening the phones up right now to talk about sports and the propaganda and your take on the Super Bowl right now as kickoff has now happened. Let's go ahead and go back to the calls. Jeff in Toronto, go ahead.
Hi, Alex. Thank you very much for taking my call. My question for you is about a book that I was told about a long time ago regarding people shifting the Super Bowl is one thing, and then look over here, the government is doing another.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's like the magician has the good-looking assistant. When you're looking at her, he's putting the rabbit in the deal to take it out of the hat, in the cabinet underneath the hat. That's my issue. There's no other manhood but being in the NFL. But if a man tries to go out and be politically active, that's weird. These people are politically involved. What in the world? Go ahead.
The book that was recommended to me was at an initiation of Delta Kappa Epsilon, of which both U.S. Presidents Bushes are members. That's why I was calling. This is like a double hit for you. So what I'm saying is they told me, read this book, and I can't remember it, which is why I wanted to call you to see if you have read it. It is something about a circus and something else. And then
I'm sorry, if I don't know the name of the book, I can't tell you.
Okay, I'm sorry, Alex, but that's why I called, but that's what really happened. And
well, of course they tell you to read books when you're part of the deal. They tell Delta Force people to read The Prince. What's your take on the NFL? Anything on the NFL?
No, complete garbage. Please stay tuned to Alex Jones and pay attention to reality.
I appreciate you calling. Listen, I'm not against a bunch of men who were trained their whole lives competing against each other. It's just that it's a false facsimile, like a prosthesis. Would I want my legs or fake legs? Well, nothing against folks without legs, but I'd rather have my legs. That's what I mean. It's not real jousting with the knights in simulated battle that could kill each other. I mean, meanwhile, you've got folks like, the famous Dallas Cowboys quarterback who got so many concussions that he'd be like, Troy Aikman, look at the bricks and the sub shop, the delicious. They don't care about these people, folks. And they wouldn't let anybody else do this type of thing if it wasn't for the profits they're making. And that's my point. The people running the NFL are all tax exempt, while if you or I don't pay the taxes, they come arrest us. It's all a giant discriminatory fraud. That's what I'm saying. Ron in Arizona, you want to talk about professional sports? Go ahead.
Yes, Alex, I want to talk about or give my testimony about the Stupid Bowl.
Yes, the Scam Bowl, the Stupid Boil, the Scam Boil, the Slave Boil. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was saved at age 6, but my father was in the sports and he brought me up on it, and I got sucked into it. I worked Stupid Bowl in 1993. I also worked numerous World Series games, All-Star games, Rose Bowl games, pro football, baseball, college football. I turned down to work the Olympics in '84 because I was getting tired of it. And I finally woke up and realized that seeing a big game, whether you're working it or going as a fan, doesn't make you a better person or make you happy. It just makes you stupider.
That's my issue, is the people that are watching it feel like they're part of it instead of having their own lives. You just crystallized my issue.
And what I challenge men out there who claim to be believers in Yeshua, the Messiah of Nazareth, is to give up a stupid bowl game and spend the time reading the Bible, praying with their wife, their family, etc. And I challenge all pastors in America next year to hold a special Bible study prayer meeting during the Stupid Bowl, and you will see which men in your flock worship Yahweh who come to the Bible study and those who worship the NFL who do not come.
That's really well said. Chris Jordan was talking about how he did a Sunday night Bible study for his church, but they started calling it a super feast or whatever because no one would show up for it. And that's the point. We worship this, and then we worship the propaganda, the anti-gun Obamacare garbage that's in it. As our society implodes, great illustration. We have made this king of our lives. And it's just so empty, and they are using it to abuse us. They are opportunistically laughing at us. And that's my issue. Great points. Carson in Washington, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hello, can you hear me?
I sure can, Carson.
Hey, Alex. Thanks for taking my call. I've been listening to you for like 2 years. I just had a question about what you thought the halftime show was going to be about this year.
You know, I didn't really pay attention. I'm sure if it's like the Grammys, it'll be 4 or 5 gay marriages and 3 or 4 satanic ceremonies. And then if you point it out, you're just not trendy. And I don't know. I mean, what is the halftime show? Guys, look up Super Bowl 48 between the donkeys and the flying rats or whatever it is, and tell me who this halftime event is. What do you think, brother?
I don't know. I think last year they kind of overplayed it a little bit with the Beyonce thing, so I think they might tone it down this year. I was just wondering what you
Well, I just think since it's such a woman's rights, maybe we should have like 20 or 30 group abortions, partial birth abortions, right there on television. And then since Obama likes it so much, they could like have like a slip and slide of all the dead humans, and he could slide over them since they're not human. I mean, I'm against that. I hate abortion and care about the human body, but and care about human life. But I mean, maybe we just have a group abortion. Oh, I know the NSA's not spying on us too, and Bill Clinton didn't have sex with that woman. I mean, anything this big is rigged. They might have power outages tonight to keep the game going forever. Jakari Jackson is missing the kickoff. We're 18 minutes into the holy game. He's about to go in with Josh, and then he'll do some updates inside as well after the show's over in about 15 minutes at Infowars.com. And we'll also have game coverage at Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com and Twitter, Real Alex Jones. I'm about to go back to calls, but Jakari, what was it like? The heroes protected you on the subway train to get there. They said that was the big terror threat where Al-Qaeda, that our own government gave missiles to, was going to attack. But you were okay, Jakari?
That's exactly right, Alex. And we just posted the video. You can guys go to the YouTube page and find our new video. We encountered some police down there holding their rifles. I'm not sure if they were fully automatic, but they are definitely the military style, as Ms. Feinstein likes to call them. Also saw some bomb-sniffing dogs, and of course, TSA checking bags for anybody who had a bag. We're outside the stadium now. The security's pretty tight. They don't want us to stand in any 1-2 place too long. They keep shuffling us around. And right now, from where I'm standing, I can see at least 3 helicopters.
Oh, good.
You might not be able to see them on the
they're keeping us safe. Oh, good.
But yeah, there's at least 3 helicopters in my eyesight, and I'm just on one side of the building.
The threats everywhere. Oh.
Yeah. So it's Police State 2014. Police State 2014, a.k.a. Super Bowl 48.
All right. Anything else, Jakari?
No, we're just going to go in here and see what else happens. May see some weird stuff at halftime, but regardless of what we do, we'll try to get it up as soon as possible for the Infowars.com viewers and also PrisonPlanet.tv, Twitter, Real Alex Jones.
That's right. Who's on tonight at Infowars.com? Is it Kurt Nimmo? I see him posting a bunch of articles today. We'll just continue to have your videos posted by the writers at Infowars.com as the night develops. Jakari, get in there. You've already missed 18, 19 minutes of the most wondrous thing in the world.
I mean, I'm missing my life. I want my life back, Alex. I'm on this train, and now I'm missing my life. So, yeah, but I'm not too eager to get in here and get felt up by the security.
Well, it says MetLife right there. You're about to get your life back.
I go get my...
Who are you rooting for, the Sea Rats or the Psycho Donkeys?
I'm rooting that we can have a nice, safe event out here without any weird Illuminati ceremony. That's what I'm rooting for.
I'm sure there'll be one of those. All right, Jakari Jackson, thank you very much.
Thanks, Alex.
He'll be back on tomorrow during the weekday show, 11 a.m. Central, to give us the aftermath with Josh Owens. Let's go ahead and go to John in New Jersey, the site of the incredible event. John, do you feel blessed to even be near this event?
Well, I don't know. Me as a kid, I always tried to watch wrestling. My dad told me no. And I remember, too...
You're not going to tell me wrestling's fake either, are you?
Well, I just remember seeing them 3 letters, NWO. And in NFL, I do know that the ball players are professionals. And even, too, watching...
The ticket says it's for entertainment purposes only and completely fake. But, I don't read the ticket. I mean,
even watching Al Bundy, I could be like him and maybe sell shoes, but I already know it's something that they try to make us get into young like that, and seeing him...
That's right. The establishment that wants us to drink fluoride, wants to lower our IQs, wants us to watch this, so it must be good. Go ahead.
Yeah, he said he got married when he was young and had kids. That's why his excuse why he couldn't be professional, So it's one of the few things, even Pinky and the Brain, the cartoon, how they always said they wanted to take over the world.
Yeah, but nobody in the elite wants to. They've already taken over. Look at how it's all taxpayer paid for. You have these billionaires with the security, everything paid for by us. And again, they go, well, that's okay. But if an old lady doesn't pay her property taxes, here comes the SWAT team. She doesn't.
A cartoon.
Yeah.
That was in a cartoon when I was a kid. And I kind of made sense of it then, but it just was like, oh, well, it's a cartoon. But even watching Jackass, that's another show that people mimic, like wrestling, and people get hurt with, not just like kids with guns like 2020 wanted to say, and had the show about. They never had a show on, people mimicking Jackass or wrestling moves and, stuff like that.
That's because they never criticize anything that's establishment. And I appreciate your call, Scott, or John, good point. Scott's up next in Arizona. Scott, go ahead.
Hi, I just wanted to say no issues in this world are black and white, and that's what you guys are making it seem out to be right now. And for all you Christian followers passing judgment and all the people that love football and are passionate about it, that's a big judgment.
No, I agree with you. I think the fact that in every third world country, sports is absolutely #1 is a good thing. Come on, we're not passing judgment. We're pointing out good aspects and bad aspects like I did earlier, and no one can deny that this has become the new religion. What do you think of the NFL having anti-gun, pro-Obamacare messages?
I be honest with you, I agree with you. I know it's been hijacked, but at the same time, I see the beauty and passion and the artistic movement of the human body in motion. And, I know Hollywood's been hijacked, but that's
the human body? Hmm?
Just because Hollywood's been hijacked doesn't mean we can't receive great stories and great movies and still find the good in it. And I see so much.
Whose human body, which one of the male players' bodies do you like the most?
The beauty of if you see a sideline catch when the toes touch down, for someone to be able to do that and control their body, I think that's art.
I know, I'm being sarcastic. I hear you.
I think that art is just as beautiful as opera.
No, I agree with you. Sports and athleticism is a great thing. My point is, we have to say we're sick of the anti-gun Obamacare garbage. And look, should it be tax exempt so Jerry Jones makes an extra $1 billion?
Of course not. I completely agree with you. I just wanted to point out that it's not black and white. There is beauty in this game, and there's a lot of passion behind it. And just one quick point.
Which quarterback is more beautiful? Scott?
Just one quick point, too, is the Walter Payton Award. I know, obviously a lot of it's showmanship, but there are a tremendous amount of dudes with great character and humility out there.
No, I hear you. Like Tebow and all that stuff, or Tebow, whatever. I appreciate your call. I hear you. The point is that no one can talk about anything but sports. And women can only talk about entertainment. And I'm just, there's more than the sports pages and the entertainment pages. That's all I'm saying is it's used to distract people. Jim in Pennsylvania, go ahead, sir.
Hello, Alex.
Hello, my friend.
Yes, wanted to talk about the sports thing.
Oh.
Back in the mid-'90s around here, I live near Pittsburgh, they tried floating a tax initiative to pay for the new stadium.
Why not pay for it for some billionaire? That's reasonable.
they tried doing that, and they got voted down by the local population.
That means you must not have electronic voting machines. Yeah, most places it's unpopular in the polls, but still passes. I'm surprised it didn't magically pass in your area.
There was a lot of people against it. And then later on, probably up around 2000, the city of Pittsburgh got into a budget crisis after they implemented Plan B to get the stadiums built.
So they still did it. Well, you got to give the billionaires a free stadium. I mean, most rich people got their money from government contracts. That's why all the rich people promote socialism, because they're all exempt from it. I gotta jump, brother, but the biggest recipient of the banker bailouts of 2008 was Warren the Pig Buffett, who lobbies for higher taxes because he's exempt from them and gets your money. Remember that. We got to go fast. Dan in New Jersey, go ahead.
Hey, Alex, how are you?
Good, brother. Go ahead.
I'm actually about a mile outside of the stadium, which is where I live.
You're so lucky.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Tell you what, the past 2 months there's been helicopters all around. The past 2 nights I haven't been able to sleep because they've been right above my building. And this morning when I woke up, I was posting something on Facebook about, all this stuff. And the cops knocked on my door. Of course, I didn't answer it, because I'm a, liberty-loving, pro-gun American.
Oh, if one guy was on the loose like Boston, they just make everybody empty out of their houses. Why not? It's freedom.
Who knows? But, everything is crazy over here. And with the Super Bowl, I mean, a lot of people are tricked into thinking that it's about sports, but they get sucked in, and it's really about all the imagery that they use. Before I
Exactly. The game is the screen to project the propaganda on. That's all I'm saying.
Absolutely. Before I started following you, I used to listen to Jordan Maxwell a lot, and he went into a lot of different symbology and stuff like that. And the more you read about it, the more you know, and you see all these things, these entertainers, all the symbols they use. It's just...
No, they're programming the subconscious mind. I appreciate your call. Lena, Martin, Laura, Marion, Jim, I'm out of time. But I'll be back tomorrow, 11 a.m. Central, 12 noon Eastern, with the big official weekday transmission, Infowars.com. We did good taking calls. Great job, crew, coming in. We can now all go to the Super Bowl parties and bow down to our God. The Infowars crew absolutely loves coffee because we love being awake. And I am somewhat of a connoisseur of coffee. So many times you go to a restaurant or even to a coffee shop and the coffee tastes like garbage. And in all the different coffees I've tried, my favorite is grown in the high mountains, in shade, Arabica, on the border with Guatemala in southern Mexico by the Chiapas farmers. I make sure we've done the research. I make sure it's the very best product that we can offer you when I put my name on it. And I believe, and it's my taste, so you may differ, that this is the best coffee in the world from southern Mexico. Wake Up America Patriot Blend, 100% organic, Arabica shade grown. And then we have the Immune Support, 100% organic coffee, infused with a special type of mushroom known to boost the immunity.
This coffee is seriously so smooth. I normally have to douse my coffee with cream and sugar and cinnamon and all kinds of tasty treats, but this, I drink this black. It is so good.
Well, that's why I like it, is that it has a kick, it has really good caffeine in it, it has a good clean wake up that lasts for a long time, doesn't give me a headache, but it's so smooth, it's so delicious. Just try it out for yourself. I'm telling you, this is my favorite coffee. We went through a lot of trouble to bring you this. Just try it, and I think you'll be hooked like we are here at InfoWars. Well, folks, find out for yourself and support the information war today. It's all available at InfoWarsLife.com or by calling toll-free 888-253-3139.